A single point rubric or one column rubric is exactly what it sounds like, a scoring rubric with only one column. Here are some examples of rubrics we've used this year. This one was for our travel blog. And as soon as it loads, you'll be able to see that we've got one column of criteria. So no longer does a student need to dig through to figure out exactly what will get them a certain grade. We've started this one with the 4, which actually will end up with an 80%. And I'll talk more about that later. But this is what one looks like. And if you'd like more information, you should go to this website right here, Meet the Single Point Rubric by the Cult of Pedagogy, and why it works. So I am all about anything that'll make grading process easier. And this definitely simplifies the expectations and look fors. Does anyone actually read all of the criteria listed on a regular rubric anyway? It helps the kids focus on what to do instead of what not to do. It gives them this is what's going to get you a good grade, and they need to go above and beyond to get the better grade. It gives students more freedom in how they demonstrate mastery of a specific skill or requirement. It tells them what is required, but how they get there is sometimes up to them based on the project. And it definitely allows for higher quality feedback, focusing on each particular child rather than general descriptions, as seen in this model right here. So you can see where it allows the teacher to provide certain feedback if they went above and beyond. And if they met the criteria, then it states it right there what they did that met it. And each one is filled in with wherever the student ended up. Single point rubrics empower students by having them evaluate their own work. Sometimes this will prompt students to make changes or improvements prior to submitting their assignments. It helps that they only have one column to look for. Did they meet the criteria or did they not? Do they have more work to do or did they go above and beyond? We've also added a reflection piece to make this even more effective. I haven't figured out a way to put a single point rubric into the rubric portion of Schoology, but you can include it on the actual Google Drive assignment. This way, when it creates a copy for each student, the score sheet is automatically included. I usually make it the first page and always give them the rubric when I initially give the assignment. I've also simply printed it out and completed it by hand, whichever way works best for you. I'm also open to other suggestions, so if anyone else can figure it out, please let me know. We've learned that creating one column rubrics is much easier. You don't have to think about the difference between mostly or somewhat or not at all. They either did it or they didn't, and you can assign points accordingly. We also feel like the single point rubric leads to less inflated grades, but this is because of the points we've assigned to the column. At the beginning, I mentioned that we started with an 80%. That's the 4s all the way down, and students have to go above and beyond to actually earn the A. At first, it was an adjustment, but with feedback, they learned to aim higher and work harder. Students also appreciated the brevity. It's less to look through than a regular rubric. Overall, single point rubrics have changed our grading and made it much easier, and we highly encourage you to check them out.